Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Stage Fright, 1950. I'm getting this 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was alright. It took me a while to get used to the dialogue. I don't know if it's a British cultural thing. I just couldn't follow the dialogue very well. It's got Marlene and Dietrich acting routine. She's kind of like Black Widow. She's like Barbara Stanwyck in Double Indemnity. That kind of blondie. Anyways, she's kind of like Barbara Bain in Space 1999 in that respect. So that was kind of interesting. I don't know why Hitchcock hired her, but I wasn't expecting the cheese factor in a Hitchcock movie. Let me put it to you that way. It was kind of cool, actually. And then the ending was pretty spectacular. It's about this this guy. He has a false flashback, which Hitchcock wanted to take out, but by the time he figured out that was a mistake, it was already too late in the movie. He couldn't change it. So his daughter's in this one. She's got a little cameo, and this guy's escaping from the police because there's been a murder involving his mistress's husband as the victim. He's in the car with his other girlfriend doing the getaway from the police, and he's got a blood-stained dress there. He does the false flashback where he's making up a fake story to his other girlfriend, played by Jane Wyman. Actually, Jane Wyman looks has a better looking face than Marlene Dietrich. I guess that's why they made Marlene Dietrich the black woman, the Black Widow character. And Jane Wyman's in love with this guy who's trying to escape the police, murder suspect, and he makes up a story where Marlene Dietrich actually did the murder, and the flashback is his lying story to Jane Wyman about the blood-stained dress. He says that she brought it to him, and she made him go back to the house to get her another dress, and then the maid saw him supposedly and kind of ransacked the place to make it look like a burglary or something. And then he broke away from the cops somehow, and they go to Ebenezer Scrooge's house. The guy who played Ebenezer Scrooge 1 year later, he's there. He plays Jane Wyman's dad, and he kind of lets his daughter get away with her shenanigans because she's in love with this guy and she wants to protect him, and she wants to blame Marlene Dietrich for the murder because obviously if there's blood-stained dress, and her lover was telling her this false story. It must have been true to her in her mind. So she she goes back. She dresses up as a maid. She starts having an affair with the detective, and then her father comes back, starts getting involved. I guess her father was divorced, the Ebenezer Scrooge guy. And he's kind of he's got this tenuous relationship with the with her mother, and he's trying to explain all the shenanigans of this of his daughter's Jane Wyman's dream guy. And in the middle of the movie, she starts having a romance with the detective, so she kind of changes her allegiance a bit. The detective finds out her identity. Marlene Dietrich finds out her identity. Marlene Dietrich confesses that that her side lover actually committed the murder. Then Jane Wyman and the other guy, the murderer, the true murderer, they escape from the police again at the theater, and he confesses the whole thing to her. And then Ebenezer Scrooge says, "Eve, get out of there." That's Jane Wyman's character is named Eve, and the murderer is named Jonathan. So Jonathan is on the hook for murder. The detective knows who does it, who did it, and that's pretty much the story. Of course, it's in glorious black and white. There's an interesting curtain that rolls up to reveal the movie. I've never seen that before. I've never seen a false flashback before, so that was kind of odd. I don't think it was a bad thing per se. I just think the movie kind of chugged along slow and didn't really have any. I mean, there was the cool plot twist towards the end, of course. I had already seen the bonus features, which had spoiled a lot of the plot twists towards the end. But it was okay. I like noir. I don't like this Hitchcock noir, and I'm a big Hitchcock fan, so I was kind of disappointed by it. I just thought it moved along too slow. I couldn't follow the dialogue because it is, for the most part, a British film, except for Jane Wyman. And it seems to take place in England. You see the Big Ben clock. I don't know why Jane Wyman has a U.S. accent while everybody else has a British accent. But there's that. And sorry, I haven't been getting the movies reviews out at my normal pace. But I've been caught up in this stinker of a impeachment trial happening in the U.S. Senate. So that took up my time Thursday. Then my son wanted to play with his friends for like an hour and a half, so I had no time to watch Stage Fright. And today we had 90. I went to 2 masses plus the bishop had his like 86th birthday or something. He's still walking around pretty good. That took about an hour. And had to get gas. And we my son and I ate a large pizza. He said his tum-tums was feeling kind of weird afterwards. And then yeah. And the Stage Fright, I started to watch it Thursday night, but I wasn't really paying attention because, again, I had my my phone on with the the impeachment trial nonsense going on. Absolute rubbish. And so I wasn't really paying attention to the movie, and that's a bad thing. If you're watching this movie, you've got to focus all your attention on the dialogue, because it's just so hard to follow. And I don't know if it's British slang or something. I really don't know, but I just couldn't follow what the heck these people were saying to each other at times, and beats me, especially the scene where the detective is talking to Jane Wyman at some kind of pub deal in a British pub, and he just starts mouthing some words that make absolutely no sense to me. And I guess I haven't seen enough British movies, British television, to figure out what the heck they're talking about, but that was a problem that I had with this movie. It's not one of my favorite Hitchcock films. It's about the same as Suspicion, I suppose, in terms of quality. But yeah, not one of the better ones in my opinion. And even Hitchcock agrees it's not one of his better ones. But it's because of that false flashback that he sort of downgraded himself. I don't think it was a big deal, but there were other aspects of this movie that I didn't like. So that's the end of my review. I'm not going to say highly recommended, check it out, or any of that, but I'm going to wrap this up. You got some of the actors' names, the director's name in the description box, and try to get through these Netflix quicker. I apologize for dilly-dallying. I just got distracted by the stupid impeachment trial in the U.S. Senate. And hopefully it'd be over by Wednesday. But I would have liked to see some witnesses like the Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, the whistleblower, Adam Schiff, those kind of people. Even John Bolton and Michael Mulvaney. I thought the Republicans should have just dragged it out until November. Like Matt Stein was saying, Trump should have just defended himself and said, no case. And then just drag out the witnesses until November. That would have been the ideal situation, but of course Lindsey Graham will never go for that. He's kind of a rhino. Not as bad as Mitt Romney, but pretty bad. Pretty disgusting, these politicians. They don't represent the interests of the little man, such as myself. But I got 5 minutes to touch up this video, so I better get going. It's just my 2 cents worth nothing after inflation. Laters.